Long before the sun rises on the African savanna, a herd of elephants suddenly halts. The oldest female scans the grass, and the rest of the herd responds by immediately closing ranks, forming a living wall of massive legs and tusks. Inside that circle, a newborn calf collapses onto the dust. It weighs nearly 100 kilograms, larger than most fully grown humans, yet it remains unable to stand, stumbling over legs it has never used before. There is no time for a slow recovery. Lions and hyenas constantly scan the landscape for an opportunity, and a calf that cannot move with the herd is an immediate target. This physical vulnerability has a primary cause. Elephant pregnancies last 22 months, the longest of any land mammal. This time prioritizes prenatal brain development over motor coordination. The calf is born ready for social life, but lacks the strength to walk. To compensate for this weakness, the herd relies on allomothers, females who assist in raising calves that are not their own. They immediately surround the newborn, using their trunks to physically hoist it toward a standing position. Within an hour, the calf's stumbling turns into a steady balance. Under the protection of the adults, the newborn is standing and moving before the sun is fully over the horizon. For an elephant, surviving the first hours of life is the result of a highly synchronized community effort rather than an individual feat. Within a few weeks, the calf is walking confidently alongside the herd, beginning to investigate the details of the savanna. Its most difficult challenge is its own trunk. The calf swings the appendage awkwardly and occasionally steps on it, a process of discovery similar to a human infant learning to coordinate its own fingers. This diagram reveals the trunk's internal structure. Lacking bone, it is composed of 40,000 interwoven muscles. This versatile anatomy allows it to pluck a single blade of grass or lift a fallen tree weighing hundreds of kilograms. While it still relies on its mother's milk, the calf begins to explore. Muddy, shallow puddles, fallen dry branches, and trees become objects of curiosity. Young elephants spend hours chasing each other and wrestling in the mud. This repetition builds the muscle density and fine motor control required to manage their massive weight. As they push and wrestle with their siblings, the calves learn the boundaries of their own strength and how to engage with other herd members without causing accidental injury. These early interactions prepare the calf for the complex social expectations it will face as an adult member of the herd. As physical strength develops, so does cognitive ability. In controlled studies, elephants have demonstrated problem-solving skills that suggest a high level of intelligence. Presented with a large mirror, an elephant uses its trunk to deliberately touch a specific mark on its own face, invisible without the reflection. This behavior places elephants in a category of self-aware animals that includes great apes, dolphins, and humans. This cognitive self-awareness is reflected in how they treat one another. Family members offer physical comfort to distressed calves and work together to protect injured companions. To maintain these social bonds across large distances, the herd relies on a communication network that is largely undetectable to humans. Elephants use infrasonic rumbles, extremely low-frequency sounds, to broadcast warnings, greetings, and travel coordinates. Low-frequency sound waves behave differently. These rumbles travel through the air and continue deep into the earth as seismic vibrations. Distant family members detect these vibrations through sensitive receptors in their feet, allowing the herd to stay coordinated across several kilometers. The savanna is filled with these invisible conversations, a constant exchange of information that ensures the family remains unified. As months turn to years, the lush savanna begins to dry. The landscape shifts into a harsh, arid environment. The herd's survival now depends on the matriarch. As the oldest female, she is the leader who holds the family's collective experience in her memory. The idea that elephants never forget stems from a biological requirement. Without the matriarch's long-term memory, the herd would be unable to navigate the changing environment. This map illustrates the matriarch's stored data. She recognizes hundreds of individuals and remembers hidden water sources and migration routes used decades earlier. When rivers disappear, this mental data becomes the herd's only blueprint, guiding them to waterholes the young have never seen. The environmental tension increases as waterholes shrink and food sources vanish. Rival herds begin to compete for the remaining resources, raising the stakes for every move the family makes. Relying on the matriarch's memory, the family prepares to move. The calf must now use its newly developed strength and social discipline as the herd begins a journey that will take them hundreds of kilometers across the drying savanna. The calf has transitioned from physical vulnerability to social intelligence, but its survival now depends on a changing landscape. Its true test is just beginning.